Welcome to this fourth module. In the previous module, you learned to add emotions to the patient journey mapping, and now you have a complete mapping of the complexity and the environment of the patient. With this mapping, you are able to identify the spots for innovation, and in this module, you're going to learn to use the patient journey to pinpoint the opportunities to generate ideas for innovations, products, or product services. Now that we arrived at this stage in the patient journey, we are able to see the huge complexity of the problems we want to solve, with different actors and interdependencies in many stages of the disease and combined with emotional states of the patient. To identify friction points that can lead to new opportunities, we need to find where the patient needs are not being met. We can represent the voice of the patient with quotes from our interviews. The friction points are connected to interaction moments with other actors, both human and non-human. We recognize that the problems that we are solving are not one-to-one relationships between users and products. The problem can involve several actors and several phases of the process. It is necessary to clearly identify the extent of the problem. What is the root of the problem and what are the consequences of the problem? For example, a communication problem can start at first appointment and the consequence can be that the patient is not finishing the rehabilitation phase correctly. Another example can be found in the design, for example, of a hip prosthesis. If you only take into account the patient while ignoring the surgeon, the result might lead to an optimal hip for the patient, but a very difficult and time-consuming procedure for the surgeons and his team. If the procedure is too difficult, the success rate of surgery will be lower and the cost will be higher. Therefore, instead of designing for isolated problems in the patient journey, we need to take on board all the actors that are connected to the problem and also involve all these actors during the design process. Defining the right scope of the problem is key to finding the root and implementing the right solution. This is how to design for networked relations that we encounter in complex systems like healthcare.